Rick, thank you for coming. Thank you for reaching out to us.
Yeah,
Yes,
appreciate it.
absolutely.
This was like probably the most perfectly timed podcast because it happens right after. So Rick threw together, along with Slick Watts, who we interviewed last, is the basketball tournament that happened this past weekend.
Okay.
So we got to promo it, and now we have pretty much the day after
The post report.
the post report.
Yes.
Yeah. So how'd that go, and what's your next plans? And
Well,
take us through this past weekend.
it was an amazing event. Working with Slick and Bill and the mayor, and putting this together all year long, getting sponsors and getting people to come together and be a part of this is unbelievable. A lot of work goes into it, but then the final chapter, the picture that we saw for these last 6 days has been unbelievable. The love and support we got from the Valley. We brought West Virginia and Ohio together for an amazing outdoor basketball event, and that, to me, that's what summer's all about.
Right.
You got summertime. We had food cooking. You could smell the food in the air. We had the basketball games going, and we had very competitive basketball games. We had D1 players, semi-pro players, high school, All-Americans. So the games were very intense, and the people packed the place and was cheering people on. It was beautiful.
A lot of vendors show up.
Yes. Well, we had about I would say about 6 vendors.
That's good.
Better than last year. I think we had maybe 3 last year. 6 this year. This year's bigger than last year. We had more teams in it.
Yeah.
We had 9 teams this year. We were going to have 10, but a team canceled at the last minute for Cincinnati. So we had 9 this year. We had 8 last year. So everything seems to be progressing and growing real well.
Yeah, and you guys came out on top. I saw that video you were showing me right when you came in. That was nuts.
Oh, yeah. So, of course, I run a nonprofit youth program called Lions Only, RL Strength and Conditioning, and we allow kids to be in the program for free in the Valley. We don't charge them. We like to work them out, let them be a part of something, build up their body and their confidence. So we put a Lions Only team together, and I got a hold of my man Mac Pettigrew from Belair and David Zwack, and they got some really, really good ballers to play with them, but they're really good ballers too. And some of them were from Central, and it was beautiful, man. They came together. We went 5-0. 5-0, and on the first night, we knocked off the defending champs, Slick Watts' team. But I love you, Slick, but I had to tell him, man. I had to tell him.
He was confident he was going to win when he was in here.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, it's fun, man. It's almost like us guys. Bill had a team, Slick had a team, I had a team. It was almost like we were playing 2K at the highest level. It was like playing a video game with each other. We were there talking trash on each other and messing with the players, and it was neat, man. It was a cool experience.
So growing up in the Valley, where's your number one place for pickup? If you had to pick one over the others.
My number one place for pickup is First Ward Playground. I grew up in First Ward. That's the south part of Belair. A little bit more grittier. A hardcore place. Most of the kids that come from there are pretty tough. You gotta be tough down there because that we like to fight and get in trouble. So that was a thing that kind of plagued my childhood, was trouble. So the First Ward basketball games, man, can never forget them. My neighbor was Jose Davis and Nate Davis.
Okay.
Their dad Tube was my basketball coach all through grade school and up. And we would play some of the most wildest games down there. We'd play from sun up to sundown. Our parents would have to force us into the house. I think kids have changed a little bit now. You make a kid stay out all day, they think they're punished, or you don't want them.
Call CPS on
you know what I mean? But us kids back then, we didn't want to be in the house. We were outside playing football, playing basketball, fighting, playing basketball, playing football, fighting again.
Yep.
I mean, that's what we did, and everybody seemed to get along and play. And I think the kids are a little bit more stronger from that era than they are now. But there's some good athletes out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can tell like the kids that really excel are the ones that their parents make them go outside. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like
Yes.
they still have that like our generation where you're like, get out, like
Yes.
go do something. Don't sit there. Go ride your bike. Well, there's nowhere to go. There's a neighborhood in there.
Yes.
Just ride your bike. Go do something. It's
Yes.
just you're right. It is definitely a different generation that of the kids today, and you definitely see it. Like I said, even like probably it's been a while, but even probably 20 years. Yeah, 20 years since the last time I really coached like junior high and high school football. Like you kind of saw that change where it was like, you'd had to like get kids to be like, hey, stop playing damn video games.
Yes, or get off your phone. Get off your phone.
And it was, well, like I said, even then phones were still just kind of on that. But I mean, it was like video games and stuff. You're like, dude, don't go home and sit in front of a television playing video games. Go out and do something. Go do a workout on yourself. And then, like you said, when you had like games on Friday, Saturday was off, but Sunday you were films, and it was right back into it. Those kids were like, man, I only got a day off. Man, shut up. At least you got a day off. But
So growing up in Bel Air, you mentioned before we started filming how you grew up rough and angry. Did that kind of direct you towards doing your youth program through
Yeah,
your company?
absolutely. Growing up, I had a lot of things that happened to me as a kid I had no control of, and it created, at the time I didn't know, but PTSD, mental health,
Right.
in me. I carried a chip on my shoulder for some of the things that happened to me I had no control of. So growing up as a kid, my family, we didn't have that much money. We grew up in Section 8 housing. So when the kids, they're going to these basketball camps or training at the gym or hiring a personal trainer, I didn't have that. I didn't
Right.
have that type of support, or I didn't know somebody that was coaching that supported the kids. A lot of coaches support their friends as kids more than they would somebody from Section 8 housing. I was a good athlete, but I just had a chip on my shoulder, and I was very mad at what happened to me as a kid, and I didn't have an outlet. So, with that being said, and with everything I've been through, I ruined a lot of opportunities with sports and people by being that way. So I was watching the kids in my neighborhood, and I started to see the same pattern, and I was like, I have to create something to help these kids. So I started RL Strength and Conditioning, and we started with 5 kids, 5 local kids in the neighborhood that I took interest in, and took them down to Bel Air track and started to work them out. And we worked out in all kinds of weather, rain, snow, shine. Man, we were out there working out. And the funny connection is because while we were doing that, I'm posting pictures, and we're getting some more kids and some more kids. And at the time, James's dad, James
Yeah.
Sr. and Chase had a podcast, something like this, called The Positive Push. And I got invited on to that, and to talk about the program.
Okay.
And me and Slick's dad was having some really good one-on-one conversations leading up to the podcast. So we had a great podcast, and then after that, he came to me and got me into the Martins Ferry Rec Center, and I was able to get the kids out of that harsh weather at the time. It was winter at the time.
Yeah.
And we just had a workout. We were out in lifting up telephone poles down at the playground, flipping them. They had some half-cut telephone poles, and we were working out in the snow. And he saw that, and he was like, man, we got to get you inside. These kids. And I was like, oh, man, these kids are tough working like this. And
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I'm going to give you a favor. I'm going to get you into the rec center. And we
Nice.
did. We took our kids into the rec center, and we outgrew the rec center. But it was a beautiful thing. And that connection with James and the basketball tournament and the program is just, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
And you just wrapped up your event for the summer, like your summer bash. And we actually was interviewing Slick right before he had to leave to go to your bash.
Yeah. So that's one thing we like to do with the program. Like I said, it's absolutely free for kids. So all year we try to put on events to raise money.
Yeah.
Spaghetti dinner, we get some sponsors, people would donate money, and we collect that all year. And then at the end of the year, we throw a mega bash. Now, the first one wasn't as big as this year, but it has grown. This was the fourth annual.
Uh-huh.
We had pro wrestling, we had dunk tanks, we had free face painting, we had character drawing, we had my man Bootsy from Steubenville gave 150 back to school haircuts.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we had the council perform. I had Billy Blaze host. We had Isaiah Keys form, which is one of Watsy's guys, Watsy Music's guys, and Kid Craze performed, and the kids went crazy. They had
Really?
they had pro wrestling, they had the dunk tank, they had music performance, and then we ended the night with comedy. We had
nice.
Matthew Cooper, we had Mike Usnick, we had some Jay Rue from Pittsburgh. We had some really good comedians come in. So it was a bash from 2 p.m. and we didn't end it until midnight. It was awesome, man.
That's great.
It was a good thing.
That's good.
Now, did you get to enjoy it, or did you have to be behind the wheel the whole time?
I got to enjoy it in spurts, but
Yeah,
man, it went so fast. You know, from 2 to midnight, you think's a long time, but as this thing is going on and we're transforming one part into another, it went super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I knew it, it was midnight.
all that planning, all that
Yes.
work beforehand,
Yes.
and just a blur. So, growing up in Bel Air, what was the spot to eat?
Spot
Is
to
it,
eat.
is it still up, or is it?
Yes. I had 2 spots. Denny's Blue Angel.
Okay.
Yeah, and Denny makes some good food in there, and it's
Mm-hmm.
a cool spot. And as a kid, we'd go in and eat in the daytime. We were allowed to do that, so we would do that, and then Gula's hot
Gula's.
dogs, man. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't beat that.
I used to get ghouls all the time when I was in St. Clairsville. They had that spot opened up right in the main drag. I used to
Oh,
go
really?
there for lunch. Yeah, they were a couple of years.
Yeah, the wife and I experienced Gula's for the first time this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I had won. We had done a poker run, and I won this board. It was all gift certificates.
Okay.
Probably best door prize I ever won at anything, because it was like $400 in gift cards of all stuff around the area. So we went to places that we never would have went. And Gula's was on there, and we were just talking about it the other day. She was like, she's getting her hair cut, and it's down in Bel Air, and she was like, "Oh, we could go down and do Gula's." I'm like, "I'm sold.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
yeah.
Let's go, man. I love that place."
Yeah, their food's amazing, and you got to get the Gula sauce. I don't know if you tried.
Yeah.
The Gula sauce is wonderful.
Yeah.
But Paul Gula is big in the community at actually donating hot dogs and taking care of the youth. He has gave out thousands of gift cards to me throughout my 5 years running this
Yeah.
program to the youth. And if anytime we have an event, he's packing up 150, 200 hot dogs and hitting the kids
That's
up with them.
That's awesome.
So for the Uncle D Kids Camp, which we ran on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, the grand finale, he sent up 150 hot dogs with Gula sauce, diced onions, mustard, and ketchup, and let the kids eat right before Coach A came to speak, and they had a great time.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I would have known about Gula's when I was like younger.
He's from this Wintersville
I'm
area.
from like,
Oh,
but
okay.
like when we did Bel Air relays and stuff like that, I'd have
Yeah.
snuck down the street to Gula's.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely would have been. I'd have been pounding hot dogs. I probably wouldn't have ran real good, but man, yeah, that's a place. But
Every town around here has the spot, like the one everybody knows.
Yeah.
That you recommend.
unfortunately, the one in Wintersville was gone.
What's
so
that?
Janimore's.
Oh, Janimore's.
Janimore's
I've
was
never
our
had
spot.
that.
It's just
Yeah, a lot of times every town has their own brand of pizza that everybody.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Ferry's got Zontini's, Belair's got 24/7 pizza, which saved me a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
times after shows at like 1 a.m., 2
Yeah.
a.m. Yeah, I like that spot. So, do you-
Zontini's, those, that's one
That's
of my
my-
favorites.
that's my favorite.
Yes, one of my favorites. That's
Hands
a
down,
good
yeah.
pizza. They
I
got
love
them old. They got them old ovens. You can't beat
Old
them.
ovens,
You
old-
know,
yeah.
I love them old
Yeah.
ovens.
probably the trays that they use probably since they started the same
Yeah.
ones.
And what's funny is how like I said, and we've talked about this a number of times on the show, is how you have the Ohio Valley pizza, the square pizza with the cold cheese. How many variants of it? Just
Yeah.
between like like even if you go as far north as East Liverpool down to Blair, the amount of variance
Yeah.
on how you can absolutely love one and absolutely hate another, and it's the same concept, but it's just one little tweak of something, and it either pushes it over the edge, or just you're like, nah.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our new sponsor, Rich Investments Group. Rich Investments Group is a real estate investment firm with a mission of providing quality housing for our community. Rich Investments Group proudly offers a rent-to-own program, assisting tenants to one day become homeowners themselves. Veterans are urged to reach out to them so they can support them in finding their dream home. Rich Investments Group would also like our listeners to join us on July 6th for their Community Day. There's going to be inflatables, games for kids, food trucks, live music, and a spectacular fireworks show to wrap up the night. I'm also going to be down there providing entertainment. If you're familiar with my acoustic solo show, I'll be down there rocking out and providing a little bit of DJ work. And we're also going to have a live podcast down there, interviewing people from this group, interviewing people off the street, maybe giving some prizes out. So if you see us walking around down there, come say hi. That's Rich Investments Group. Check them out today on Facebook and Instagram, and come hang with us July 6th on their Community Day. Going back to the youth camps, it's funny how, or like amazing how if like you're in the valley and if you're a parent, you keep like your ear to what's going on, you can get a whole summer's worth of like high quality, especially sports camps. I mean, because like CJ's was almost a month ago. You have James's, and you have all this stuff that you could just plan out your summer, having your kid like train and talk to D1 athletes, professional sports athletes, and with that Highland Sports Complex too. I mean, it's just.
And I absolutely respect the fact that you do yours for free, because there's so many kids out there that just have God-given natural talent, but just need that little push, somebody to work with them, because like, you know, especially I mean, even now there's, like you said, these private trainers, and there's families that can't afford it. They want to do, but they just can't afford it, and that's fantastic.
See, that's what I'm for. The underdog, man. I'm for the down and out. I'm for the ones who come from the struggle. That, I mean, I'm for everybody, but those are my people.
Right.
So for me to be able to provide a service for free, knowing there is no excuse, there's no excuse why you don't come and at least train at the program, and it takes the stress off mom and dad, and the kid knows, no matter what, Wednesday and every other Saturday, they have a spot to come, and we're going to take care of them, man. We're going to get them shirts if they work hard, book bags if they work hard. That's another thing I added to my program, is a sponsorship. You could sponsor a kid. You know, the idea was kids need motivation. I give them a free workout program, but if we had just a little bit more spice to it, it makes it better. So people will sponsor a kid like some people pick cards off a Christmas tree and sponsor a kid. Well, we have a sponsorship program. So if the kid is doing good in school, listening to mom and dad, and working hard, they receive gifts throughout the year. It could be Nike shoes, comes in, shirts, hoodies, shorts, and it gives the kid the motivation, and teaches them hard work always wins. You know what I mean? So they work hard. And it's a life trait, because if you work hard, you pay your bills, you pay your house, you get a nice car. And we just want to teach them that hard work and dedication pays off.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Also, that you include their schoolwork too.
Yes, we do.
That you make sure that they, you know, because it
teaches them repercussions too.
Yeah.
Teaches them repercussions, because you know, if the parents stick with it and say, hey, you know, he wasn't behaving, he wasn't doing well, then
yeah, we start to pull back the gifts. And throughout this time, we've had kids do really, really well and excel. We're up to 72 members. We have 72 kids.
Started with 5.
And we started with 5. And I think as long as I'm breathing, man, I'm going to keep this going, because we're helping so many people. And I've heard so much positive feedback from not only the parents, but the neighbors of the kids, and the community, and the teachers. So
giving them direction, making them aware that there's something coming up next week that they can train for at home, they're focused on.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Is there a certain workout or program you do with the kids that they kind of like draw more towards? I know like you're having them hit bags, you're teaching them boxing skills, you're teaching them strength, just weightlifting, body weightlifting. Is there something that they just can't wait for when you do that?
Yeah, they all love to get into the ring and hit the
I'm
mitts.
sure that's that's the
I
one
try to
thing.
incorporate everything though. I try to incorporate boxing because
Yeah.
it's a full body workout.
Yeah.
You get strong from head to toe. I put plyometrics in. We do a lot of weightlifting and agility drills. And then we end the session with some agility games that they play, and they don't know they're actually working out, but they're playing a game. So there's a game called Jailbreak we play where they have to sprint. I mean, you're sprinting for maybe an hour and a half, and they don't realize it.
Right, yeah.
And they're trying to get to the other side and back to the other side without getting caught. So we keep them active and motivated without them realizing they're putting all this work in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then plus the boxing, the plyometrics, like teaching these kids like not like necessarily like just actively teaching them, but showing them like balance skills to when they're going to go join sports, like say wrestling or something. They have the footwork, they have
Yes.
like the hip movement that they were supposed to have.
Now, what are the
Right.
ages that you cover?
Okay, so when I first started, I had 5 kids, but they were all in high school. So I had to figure out when we started to get more kids and their friends involved, they started to bring littler kids. We picked 4. So we started at age 4 until senior year.
Oh wow.
4 is because they have the motor skills and they can start to take in some direction. And then with their motor skills, anything under 4 is really hard for them to get through each drill and the workouts.
Right.
So from 4 up, we're working with them. And now I have about a 7-person staff that helps me because there's nights that we land a 70, but there's nights we land a 30.
Right.
30 is manageable. I can do
Right.
that with maybe one person.
Right.
But when we have the 70 kids in there or the 60 kids in there, it's a little wild, man. It's kind of intimidating if you're by yourself. You're like, whoa, because the whistle's blowing, the kids are running here and there. So I ended up getting some volunteer help, and yeah, we're about to 7. So if we get all the help at once, we have 7 helpers, and it goes real smooth.
Nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And just think it started with 5.
It started with
At
5.
5 outside in the snow.
And I can't believe it, man. And it's almost unreal to me to start something just because I wanted to help 5 kids, and to see it grow into 72 kids it's really crazy. It's hard to believe.
And to have the people in the valley that are part of promotion, say like the Billy Blaze and everybody that's like helping you out to
Yes.
push.
That's my man, Billy Blaze and the Holistic Cloud. Listen, you have people who say that they support you, and then you have people who support you.
Right.
This man, when I first started, a lot of people laughed at me. Like, oh, you don't want to mess with kids, man. They're going to end up getting you in trouble. These kids are trouble. I'm like, no, that's why I want to help the kids.
Yeah.
Bill was one of the first ones to believe in me. He said, whatever you need, Rick, I will help you. I'll be
Right.
by your side. I support you. Matter of fact, Rick, bring me down however many shirts you have printed so far. We're going to hang them up in the cloud, and we're going to sell them for you and give you the money for the program. Man, I thought that was so cool. I was like,
Yeah.
man, you're the first person to say that to me. So I brought down 10 shirts. He had them sold in 2 days. He called me up. He's like, hey, Rick, come get your money. I got your shirts sold. I said, how many? He said, all of them. And I went down there, and I was like, wow. So ever since then, man, we've been selling our gear there, and it helps out the program. Like I said, I run it for free, but I have to pay rent on the
Right.
building, and I have to have insurance. So it does cost me, but man, it doesn't matter because it's something I feel like I have to do. Plus, I have kids, and I make my kids a part of the program. And but the valley is a wonderful. We live in a great valley. I don't know if people realize how beautiful and nice our valley is. It's kind of got like a Tennessee Smoky Mountain feel if you're ever driving from St. C
Right.
down the hill into the valley. But everybody came together to help out. Small
Yeah.
businesses, people from both sides of the river. I can't even express how much love I have for everybody helping us. And we can't do these big bashes and events without these people and this help. So I just want to send my thanks out to everybody who supports us.
And you're going across the river now too. You're hitting up people from West Virginia coming in, which is awesome.
Yes, and we always have. I always said, I think the Ohio Valley's home.
Yeah.
And that's both sides of the river.
Right.
and that's up and down. And I don't care if you want to make the trip. If you live in Weirton and you want to come to Belair, come on down.
Yeah.
I'll take you, man. But I never turn a kid down from whatever side of the river they're from or who their parents are or anything like that. Now, with that being said, you can get kicked out of the program if I try to warn some kids, some of the older kids and everything. Some kids will listen to rules and some won't. But
Yeah.
anything to put other kids in the program in jeopardy, we
Right.
can't have you there.
Yeah.
You know, I can give so many warnings, but then there's a time I'm gonna have to say you can't come back. And I think out of the whole time I only had to do that twice.
Yeah, if somebody's opportunity to succeed is impeded, you have to.
I
Somebody
have
else's,
to.
you have to. Yeah,
Especially when the program's put in jeopardy. Maybe
Yeah.
it was flooding a bathroom when I wasn't there, or trying to hurt some kids when nobody's looking. Things like that we cannot have.
Right.
And like I said, I want to help everybody, and I want to help people who need help. I want to help the troubled. But there's only so much trouble I can help if you don't want the help.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
You know what
just
I mean?
it. If you don't have the mindset to want to,
Yes.
put work in, and you're just there just to, then yeah, you can't. And especially if you're going to put other athletes and your nonprofit in jeopardy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Can't-
not just
you
like-
can't have that.
Yeah.
the only victim's not the kid. A kid you might be picking on because you're paying for insurance. You're having to make sure all these kids are safe.
Right.
And then,
Yes, and it's something that I don't like to do, but every once in a while we have to do that. But so there is rules. I just want that to
yeah,
be
yeah.
out.
I'm
there.
sure the reasons
Yeah.
are obvious if that would
Yes,
come to
yes.
that.
And you
Especially
did-
there's only been two.
You said something that I firmly believe in. Like I grew up Wintersville, Steubenville area, and I know one of those things that like as I was growing up, like I couldn't wait to get out of this valley. I couldn't wait to get to college. Did college, joined the military. I was gone. And then I found myself like after being gone and living in major cities and all over the place, like I missed here.
Yes,
And it's just that, and everybody, it's like, it's like you said, it's a communal thing. Like, like when you go home, people, you're going to take care of each other. It's,
yeah,
and I know it's even for, Jake's wife and my wife, who are originally from Columbus, like every once in a while, they kind of like, man, this is
Yeah.
this just slows down here. And but you're right, man. It's just that you go away and you're thinking, man, I don't want to, I'm never going back, blah, blah, blah. And then after you get out and you see other things, you're like, I want to go back home. I want to go back to the valley. And
yeah. Because we got a diamond in the rough here, man.
We do.
The thing that our valley has lost that I remember as a kid that's starting to come back because we have people like myself and Slick Watts and Billy Blaze and people helping bring back community unity. It was lost. We had separation. West Virginia didn't want to come to Ohio. They wanted
Yeah.
to keep programs there. Ohio didn't want to mess with West Virginia. But when everybody comes together, it makes the valley even bigger and better.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. That was the beautiful thing of the second annual and the first annual Uncle D Watts Classic is that we brought the community together for 3 days of basketball tournament. Unbelievable basketball. We had Wheeling there. We had Steubenville there. We had Ohio there. We had Belair Martins Fair. Everybody's shaking hands and talking and ordering food and watching great basketball. And for those moments, those will be great memories forever for everybody because there was no violence at those tournaments 2 years in a row. No
Yeah.
violence, no problems. Everything ran smoothly and everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
And the other thing, like with our that communal, I like that community. Back to unity is the fact that all the relationships that you build, because like you might play in this classic here,
Yes.
and then kids might like my daughter played fall basketball in Steubenville. And so you go up there and there was kids from Brook and Bel Air and everybody, but you get those, oh, I played with you at this tournament. And I played with you. And then as you see them grow up
Now you're building that relationship.
and then they're in high school playing against each other,
Yes.
they're going to beat the hell out of each other on the court. But when it's over, they give each other big
big
hugs.
hugs.
They're like, man, that was
Yeah.
fun. That was good.
Yeah,
and
that
it
was-
just, but like before,
That's a cool
you didn't
point.
have that. You didn't, those kids just, they were like isolated.
Yes.
And then, naturally there's the rivalries. There's always going to be the rivalries. But I especially saw it in basketball with my daughter that you build those relationships, and coaches know,
Yeah.
like, because the way the Steubenville basketball camp or program worked in the fall, you had different coaches from different high schools. And they knew these kids, like you said, just because she went to this camp here.
Yes.
So when they play, they're like, "Hey, I know this girl. I know that girl. Watch out for this girl. Watch out." And then but you get that respect. So and these kids might not see it from on the court, but as a parent, you're looking and you see the relationships are built. The coaches that go out of their way to talk to your kid that's from, like the coach from Brook went and talked to my daughter, or the coach from Steubenville Central went and talked. You know what I mean? Just because it's like, hey, good game, you did this. And then they'll even tell them, hey, when you were there, maybe try this next time, try that next time. And it's just,
And then that's the recipe for the unity. That's
Yeah.
because you got kids from here and here coming together, and now they're friends and they can build. Maybe now they're on a travel ball team
Right.
together. You know, some of the coaches are watching each kid and they're like, hey, we might pick them up. Now they're traveling around playing ball, making memories for a lifetime.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. That's like James Watts, Billy Blaze, myself, and the mayor all got together. Now we are all different, and
Right.
we're all doing different
Yeah.
things in the community. But when we came together, it made like a Megatron.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, guys,
you,
yeah,
you
no.
know, you watch,
Yeah.
watch the
Voltron.
Yeah, it made
Voltron,
a
yeah.
Megatron, man, and we were able to pull things off. I mean, everybody knows different people. Put all
Mm-hmm.
your connections together, and you have a big event.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes. It takes unity and the whole community to come together and make great
Mm-hmm.
things happen. And that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming to do these type of things for our community
Yeah.
for years to come.
It's wild too. It's like how Facebook's set up. It's like now they allow people to be a digital creator, people that throw events and make content where you can see, like, by just bringing you on, you have your own reach in yourself. We have our own reach in yourself. So if you have an idea, if you get these people with their own audiences themselves, you look at your analytics after you interview somebody and you're like, oh, we shared audiences. That's what we've done.
Yeah.
And you see, like, if we're all promoting an event, you just have this huge audience all together of the High Valley seeing, what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about these cell phones and
Yeah.
and Facebook and Instagram. These apps allow you to advertise every day, anytime you want.
Yeah.
So we're able to reach people that maybe back in the early 90s and 80s you can never reach.
Yeah.
This is better than the newspaper and better than the news. My man Bill is a master at this. He'll post something, it'll have 1 million follows.
Yeah.
All right, and then James will post something, it'll have close to 1 million follows. Then I'll post something. When you all come together, look how
it does.
far you're reaching out. I mean, we're reaching cities and states that we're not even from.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. For the Classic, we had people come back home from Atlanta. We had people come in from Akron. We had people come in from everywhere because we set the dates. They made their schedule around it, and they came in for the tournament. Old
awesome.
family, friends, they were all there. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's like I said, when you said that you had a team that was coming in from Cincinnati,
Yes,
you know what I mean? That's just, I mean,
that's cool.
that's really cool. And like I said, there's sometimes there's some evil about social media, but the other times it can be a blessing.
It
can be-
depends. Yeah, it depends on how you take it. We can all see the glass half full or half empty.
Right.
So everything has evil in it and everything has good. It's just how you perceive it. And if you get around a bunch of people who can see the glass half full instead of half empty, those are the ones you want to stick around and work with.
That's it.
That's how you build.
Yeah, and it's like, especially online too, the way analytics work is if you're interacting with those people that see the glass half full more and more, the less and less you'll see of the negativity and stuff.
Yes.
I mean, like, if all you're doing is looking up negativity and looking at the negative videos, then that's all you're going to be seeing.
That's all you're going to see. And it's all on perception. It's how you see things and how you want to see things. And I like to surround myself with positive people
Yeah.
who want to see good things happen. And I try to eliminate the negative people. I came across this saying that I love. We're the CEO of our own company. We hire and fire accordingly, and we put the people that we want in the positions we want,
Right.
and we fire the ones we don't. And I've been doing that a lot lately. I've been trying to stay away from the negative and just keeping myself around the positive, and I've been feeling better myself. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's a better way to look at life, and it's a better way to keep your life rolling.
Yeah. Less to worry about, just day in and day out.
Yes.
Yeah. And knowing that too, if you have an idea, you have the support immediately, like
Yes.
from different perspectives, like especially like if we want to do an event, you have people that are involved in like the sound, people involved at the promotion, you just get everybody together and
Well, it was another kind of funny thing on how we got hooked up with the pro wrestlers from Pittsburgh, Mon Valley. They contacted myself right before our summer bash and wanted to be a performance into the bash, which I was happy for. A guy named Jason Russo contacted me, and so I called Bill and let him know. And Bill told me, "Yeah, I met them in Steubenville up here at the Holistic Cloud in Steubenville 2.0. They put on a wrestling match. They're cool people. Go ahead and talk to them." And I was like, "All right." So I gave him a phone call and told him we had so much booked. I don't know if we can fit him in. He's like, "No, listen, this is what I want to do. I'm going to come down, put on 2 wrestling shows in the Valley, and give you half of the proceeds. And then that goes towards your summer bash, and we'll come to your summer bash and perform there too." Man, the most amazing thing ever. We had 70 something kids getting to see pro wrestlers face to face. They came to the gym, worked out with the kids. Then the kids went to the match and got to see these guys they were just working out with perform. And they were in heaven. It takes you back to the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior days.
yeah.
But like we brought them back in, and now the Cloud, RL Strength and Conditioning, Watsy Music has a connection with Mon Valley Pro Wrestling.
Nice.
There we can all build something bigger and better.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We had a couple months ago, we had a sponsor for our show had a community day.
Oh.
And they originally want to have a pro wrestling organization come in, but due to like they realized how much it costs insurance, so they decided not to do it. But they had us perform on the wrestling ring that they were going to perform on, and I'll tell you, it was baking in the sun all day. And man, I just felt like I was on like a skillet all night. It was crazy. That was my first time on a wrestling ring. You stand there, you start bouncing on your toes. You're like, oh, that's how they do it. That's how you're able to jump off the turnbuckle and land.
Yeah, it's got a give to it. It's
Little bit of give. I mean, I could only imagine that still. You're getting tombstone pile drive on your neck. There's no amount of bounciness that's going to help you.
No.
But like I'm talking to you guys, and we're talking about the positive, and we're talking about collabing and doing. But you still have to watch out. There's snakes in the grass.
Oh, there is.
There's people that don't care what you do. If it's you, they don't want you to succeed.
Right.
And there's people that would try to shut you down as quick as they can if they get the opportunity. So you have to protect yourself. You have to make the right decisions, and you have to find them snakes and eliminate them.
Mm-hmm. And it's so easy too to like, especially like with organizations that really use social media and the internet to promote what they're doing. It's so easy if somebody's against you to just affect you anonymously.
Yeah.
It's so easy to like file little reports and stuff. Well, nobody knows it's you, but if you have enemies, they could.
They could do that.
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing about that. But you know what? If you stick to your guns and you lay out a blueprint and follow that blueprint, and and you're doing things out of the purity of your heart, they really can't touch you, man. There's nothing they can really do to you. And you just have to walk that line and do the right things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, some of those people that, listen, good luck with that.
Yeah.
If you're going to waste your energy on trying to come after me,
Yeah.
that's your issue, not mine. You know what I mean? You're wasting your energy where you could be doing something positive or, bringing something good into your life. And if you just got to, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to let it happen. I mean, there's a wise woman that I married that told me how to handle that, and it made a difference. It did. It's like, if you want to waste your energy just looking for negatives on me, good luck. I feel bad for you.
I mean, to talk about this, before we got to back to Belair, where I'm at now at the Presbyterian Church in Belair, which they take care of us. These ladies run this church, and they are amazing to us. I was at a place in Wheeling, and we came over there with maybe 20 kids. And as it started to grow over there, The place I was at was fine when I had 20 kids, but when the news wanted to come and the paper wanted to come, and we started to get publicity, they started to do us dirty. They started to lock the door on us.
Oh,
Now
really?
picture this: I got 40 kids outside in the cold, and the door's locked. They know that we have a start time at 5 o'clock, and we go from 5 to 7. That door's locked at 5 o'clock. I got to make 13 phone calls to get the door open, and I got all these kids in the cold. I had flat tires. I had a program in there that says that my people were taking up parking spots and they flattened my tires. You know, I had a lot of negativity for helping the youth, which for me, the old me wanted to go to war. I wanted to go to
Right,
war with these
right.
people, but the new me, to keep this program and these kids safe, I had to be humble. I had to bite my tongue. I had to listen to a lot of things I didn't want to hear and look these people in the eye, knowing what they're doing to me to stop this program because we're taking up space that they want, was very challenging. But I grew from that. And one thing about people who try to bring you down and hurt you is if you can withstand the storm, you get blessed on the other end. I have more blessings now than I ever had before.
Right.
And I think it was because I stood in that storm and I didn't do anything to hurt or jeopardize the program or kids.
It's karma.
Yeah.
It's karma, man.
Yeah.
It's karma.
And for those who know what you did, I want to let you know thank you from the bottom of my heart. You blessed us, man, and I appreciate you. And I'll stand in that storm anytime against you.
That's real.
That's
and,
real.
And you know, if you remain humble, you keep your head down, and you believe in what you're doing, you keep doing what you're doing. Those people can only play catch up.
That's
You
true.
know, I mean, if you're just focused on
That's
your
true.
goals and growing your brand, your business, I mean, if you just keep moving forward, they can't play anything because you
They
know.
can't. They
Yeah,
can't.
because they're just standing there spinning their wheels trying to bring somebody else down. So if you're that miserable, good luck with that.
So to bring close this episode, do you have any events coming up that you want to promote, or how can people find you online to see your next?
Yes, we run on Facebook. We have RL Strength and Conditioning.
Okay.
We have a page there set up, and all you have to do is
We'll tag your page in the description too, so you can check it out. Just go to the comments. And,
yes, just message in on there. Give us your kids' age, and we will give you the information. And all you have to do is bring them Wednesday night to the Blair Presbyterian Church. We have a beautiful gym down in the basement set up, and it's absolutely free. So that's one way. Our next event will be in November. It'll be the second annual basketball camp.
Okay.
It'll be $10 a kid, and we will have some great speakers and coaches there. We'll have Slick Watts there. Of course, I'll have my man Billy Blaze. I always take Billy Blaze with me because Billy Blaze is a brother to me. We're both from Belair. He supported me when nobody believed in me, and I'm old school with loyalty. I'm old school with I think loyalty, love, and respect goes a long way. And if you're loyal to me, man, I ride with you to the sunset.
Yeah,
you know,
that's it.
we're going to burn the bridges at noon. I'm coming. I got the matches, man.
So as we're wrapping up, you have one of your students here from does your camps, right?
My little boy.
Yeah.
This is my little boy, yeah.
Come on up.
Come on up, man. Come on, Avery. No, he won't come. He won't come.
It's against his contract. He can't do interviews yet. I got it. No, that's cool. I really respect what you're doing with the community. That's huge, and it's a lost thing anymore. Like people wanting to do for their community. And like I said, I have a best friend that he started a nonprofit out in Columbus, the 411 Foundation, and it was one of those things that he just wanted to help kids like get backpacks and stuff
yeah.
for school. And he's doing fantastic. I think they do 200 and some backpacks now.
Oh, my
People
God.
donate and they fill them up and they give them to kids. And he does fundraisers at Ronald McDonald House, and to hear him talk, it's like talking to you. That fulfillment to give back to the community means
Yes.
a load.
I'm going to tell you something, man. I have a large family. I have a 7-person family, my wife, and I have 5 kids. Money is very important to me. I work really hard at my job and to take care of my family. But the most satisfying thing I have is helping the youth for free. It means more to me than money. To see a kid that we're helping thrive or do good is a beautiful thing. It's a blessing to me, and I'll tell you what, I would take that over money any day.
That's excellent.
Yes.
Well, congrats to you, and I speak for Jake if there's anything we can do to help you
Oh
out.
yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
you guys are awesome, man. I enjoyed this.
Oh
Be
yeah.
there. I mean,
Anytime,
that's-
any event coming up,
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you guys.
Absolutely. So
All right, Rick. Thanks for stopping. Thanks for
yeah.
reaching out to us again.
Yes, it was a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure.
We'll have to
be
do it
here and
again,
talk to you
maybe-
guys.
maybe
I
grab
love
you-
this setup. This
Thank
is
you.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Maybe grab you, James, in the future. Grab a couple guys. We'll open up the
Yeah.
curtain, do like the wide angle again.
yeah, maybe we can.
that'll be cool.
Maybe
That'll
we
be
can get you in right before your another event in November.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
we can spread it out for you. So
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.